All right, so 2013, the year of destiny, I'd say. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was my life. Like my whole life led up to Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and then everything kind of sprung from it. But to me, Killer Instinct was my destiny. I had the video in 2012 talking about KI and how I was looking forward to it, you know? But to me personally, like, Killer Instinct was one of the greatest fighting games of the 90s. Like, everything about it was so goddamn amazing. The fact that this was going to be the year that Killer Instinct would become a thing, I'm already looking forward to reliving that in video form. So let's get started. The start of 2013, not a lot of crazy stuff. I have this old show called Arcade Stories talking about all the arcade experiences I had. A lot of people are like, where did the arcade stories go? I kind of told all the stories, so I didn't want to make shit up. Yeah, I exhausted a lot of the ideas that I had before, so it was a lot more just keep playing a bit more Street Fighter Cross Tekken, give that a shot. I came up with this really cool combo of just learning more Marvel 3 stuff. And here it is. Of course, with the Gargos theme, right? Here's like the most impressive combo that I came up with in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in the history of me playing it. That was my own. And this was right at the beginning of 2013, so we're like, you know, a year and a change, a couple months change of Marvel 3 actually existing. This was very hard to do online. I don't think I ever actually landed it against a human opponent online, but I just love the way this shit looks, dude. This game and its combo creativity is ridiculous. You might notice a theme. There's a lot of use of Killer Instinct music in many of my videos leading up to this point, just because I love KI. Third Strike the Online Warrior still continues. I still gotta actually make Third Strike Online Warrior videos to this day. Like, I still gotta do it. Oh god, this review. I came back and did this review for Aliens that was a very, like, hyper-edited review, you know? Because this game was important to me. I wanted Aliens to be good.
Oh god, what the hell is that? What? No, what's going on? What? Oh, jeez, I can't even... No, come... What am I even doing?
Yeah, this was one of the few quote-unquote angry reviews that I've done. But I wanted to make it comical.
Screw this game, I'm gonna play some Killer Instinct Gold.
More KI references, wow. This video went a little viral, which did lead me to doing another video at the end of this year, which I think is a better analysis kind of review. Oh, here it is. It's actually right after. Within about a month after, I ended up making this Metal Gear review, which I think was the best quote-unquote video game review video I ever did. That was a hyper-edited sort of experience.
Dude, you were in one of my favorite games as a kid.
Listen, rookie. War has changed.
Well, what are you talking about?
If anyone knows who Chris Saglia is, we can give him a shout out right now.
Metal Gear Solid, Ground Zeroes, Tactical Emotional, Espionage Blade Gunner. I'm a fucking genius.
It's Kojima. That's right. No, that's actually a highlight of the year in my opinion. I am not firing up this Harlem Shake video because it'll get everything flagged. More clickbait thumbnails? It's weird, like, ever since about hearing that copyright thing for Killer Instinct, my infatuation with Killer Instinct continues.
Ready.
Kill confirmed. We're winning this fight.
Brutal combo.
Kill confirmed.
Humiliation. Ultra combo.
Jesus, was that a 6-kill Hellstorm? Good God, man. Let me see, Doomtales, this was when I think the DuckTales game was announced. Simmons was super excited about DuckTales, being announced. We made this.
Tales, woo! Tales of perfecting body and got deer tails, woo!
Have you seen my copy of Street Fighter Cross Tekken?
Nope.
Doomtales, woo!
We're getting close to the release of Injustice, and I was kind of excited for Injustice. It would end up being the very first, it was the very first in NRS game that I would actually try. And actually, wait, let me go back a little bit. Now that I think about it, I invited a couple of friends over to try out and let me know about MK9 because they were big MK9 fans. And this would be the eventuality of what you know as your video games today.
Yeah, after teleport, you'll land before them, and then you just jump kick at them again. I would try the punch. Yeah, I would try the punch.
This is what it is, just Denny and Steve teaching me how to play MK9. Very engaging entertainment. Now that I'm going back, let me take a look at this.
Gotcha, bitch! Here it comes.
Wesker had a command grab. Oh yeah.
Eat shit and die! Video game! I'm gonna go rub one out.
Stupid shit. I kinda love the idea that the characters are fighting their fights for real. I think it's a goofy, fun thing. Oh, I create the greatest, the absolute greatest April Fool's video of all time.
You can get 2 cute dogs for the price of 1. It's a steal. How can we offer such a groundbreaking service, you might ask? Well, it's simple. Money. And if you order with
Actually, the greatest April Fool's video of all time. I'm gonna say it right now. Yeah, there's a bunch of videos in here that I want to highlight. I think the week of Killer Instinct is also me playing with Steve and Kenny.
What's up, folks? Max here, and I'm once again joined with my fighting game brethren, Kenny and Steve.
And then we just played KI. I think this was on that crazy Killer Instinct emulator at the time. So yeah, I mean, Steve and Kenny were kind of hanging around the channel every once in a while. I made a very cool intro for this. Hold on a sec, I want to see it. Yeah, the Saberwolf theme was too good. So anything crazy around here? Injustice is getting there. Oh, the Bloodbath cage match. It's right here. This is the one. This is the one where Kenny and Steve make their official first reveal.
The beast from the east, the best of the west, team unruly and Stefan. Oh! Oh my goodness!
This is essentially the beginning of your video games right here. This is just the start of it. Just having fun. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. We were just having a good time. This is a review I'd like to highlight.
What's up, everyone? Maximilian here, and today's
This one was fun.
day. Like, you have to come with me.
Why?
No, dude, come on, seriously.
Why do I gotta go with you?
You have finger lasers.
Fine.
I like the way the dialogue became a lot more organic over time. The character conversations became more organic too.
I know something you love more than yogurt. No! Not that! Anything but that! Not her beautiful, perfect face!
So, having a bit of a rodent problem, are we? I believe I can help with that. Here's my card.
It went nowhere. Justice was not nearly as fun of a game at launch. So, the Injustice review was goofy fun. And then Justice comes out. This is where I kind of begin the Week of series, where people are sort of ready for like, oh, a new character, week of, learn that character, week of, learn that character, stuff like that. And that's where it kind of begins, is right around Injustice, which is good. Which is a good thing. And then Batgirl comes out, and I'm like, woo, Batgirl's so much fun. Yeah, Marvel's dying. This was definitely the time when Marvel was not doing great. This is before reaction videos were even a thing. Like, I just decided to watch the Xbox conference and then record myself in the background and throw together me just being bored. This was the thing where it's like TV, 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 sports, 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 TV, TV, TV. This was that event.
They found their home with our Xbox Live community.
Just show the Call of Duty trailer. Just so fucking dumb. Just show the goddamn Call of Duty trailer, can you? This would carry over directly, which is good, to E3, where I was making like, oh, people actually like watching me watch stuff. The funny thing is, I didn't know if people liked me watching stuff for the sake of me being like pissed off at things. I didn't know. So I was kind of worried in comparison of like, oh, if I make reaction videos to things, how will people, you know, respond to that? Either way, that was the very, very first one. And then I had like a discussion video and stuff of that nature. Here's an old classic Injustice video.
Scorpion. Wait, what the hell? Get over here! No, dude, you're not actually a DC character. So, what are you doing?
Well, I'm a guest character.
Yeah, I get that, but this is Injustice. It's a DC fighting game. There's this huge list of DC characters that probably should be in the game, so...
Dude, I don't know what to tell you. Jim Lee came in, did this fantastic life drawing of myself, and next thing I know I was in the game.
Immediately when watching this character, I was noticing that Scorpion's teleport looks hella fast!
He was so fucking broken.
And I never see Superman
Character was a god. Scorpion just came in and rolled over everyone in this game.
The hell are you looking at? What? You don't think I should be an Injustice? Is that what you're typing right now? Well, you can suck my big fiery dick.
I like Scorpion. he's a funny guy. Anyway, this leads us to the biggest moment of 2013. The moment that would define a decade.
Coming to your home in 2013, only on Xbox One. Jacob.
Ah! Shit.
Glacius.
Ah! I'm just gonna blow out the mic casually.
And Killer Instinct is back, only on Xbox One.
Bill was talking to me. He was speaking to me directly. And yeah, this was the first time that Killer Instinct was publicly playable. They made a Japanese-style arcade cabinet out of it, and they brought it to the Microsoft store with the first public playable build. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. And then this happens the next day.
Oh, fuck you! Oh, fuck you! Yo! Let's go! Let's fucking go! This show is over! Let's go! This show is over, son! Yes! We won E3-7! We did it! We won! He's back!
Yeah, that was a pretty amazing announcement, dude. So this was an interesting time for my channel because I was like challenged, right?
What the hell is going on? So
at this point, because liking Killer Instinct, and the problem was Killer Instinct was on one of the most hated video game systems ever. Everyone hated the Xbox, man. So it was a difficult thing for me to figure out, how do I love this, and this is exactly what I want, but what do I do to like balance the fact that people are like, you're a shill, you're a piece of shit, Xbox, you're gonna die, like all these insane shit that people were saying to me. Read the comments? Oh god, that's a scary thought. And then all the crazy announcements happened, like they actually removed the ridiculous DRM shit from the Xbox One. Killer Instinct was announced that it was gonna be free to play technically, and only like a $20, but like a small game, which was the first time a fighting game had ever done that. Would it blow your mind that Killer Instinct was the first fighting game that was season-based, you know? The very first fighting game that would actually have seasons. It was the first fighting game to technically do that. It started that season aspect. It's weird to go back and look at these things, because it was really bad news to me at the time. It was like, oh my god, Killer Instinct's gonna be such this tiny, weird, shitty game. It's all gonna get forgotten and yada, yada, yada. Although, it's a lot different. The big difference between KI and a lot of the other fighting games is that other fighting games are like, yo, we're gonna have seasons of content for our game, but what did their game cost? It still cost $60, you know? Their game still is full price. Killer Instinct came out either free to play or extremely cheap. It was only $20. Either way, continuing on, I talk a lot about KI, if anyone didn't know. Me playing Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. That's weird. Oh, wow. Is this might be the fabled Season 3 trailer for Assist Me of the lost footage. We shot an entire, like, season.
Doesn't anyone care about this game anymore?
No. Not really, no.
Does anyone care about this game anymore? No. Yeah, copyright music problems, all this shit, man. Music that was safe at one point and then they got bought out and it wasn't safe anymore. Ultra Street Fighter 4 is announced. Let's talk about the dynamic music in Killer Instinct, and I'm at EVO and I get to get a new build of the game and they want to like, here, you can try doing a combo. And I'm like, here, let me try to get a big ass combo. Here's an old ass version of KI. Oh, it's the old Ultra combo sound too. It's the very, very early build stuff. More Marvel 3. Just got to continue it. People like Marvel, and I like Marvel too. So, Guilty Gear Xrd was around this. What a badass year for fighting games, man. Holy shit. Holy shit, what a badass year for fighting games, dude. Guilty Gear Xrd and KI were announced in like the same exact, like around the same time frame. It's nuts, dude. And I remember this was all happening right around we were filming Assist Me. Here it is, Assist Me Part 1 for Season 3. And this happened right in between it. And I was just feeling so done with Marvel, you know? I was just so done with Marvel 3 that, because Capcom just gave up on it, you know? They didn't update it. They didn't even give us, like, a balance patch. UMVC 3 was like responsible for everything of my channel's start, but there was things happening in fighting games that I was so much more interested in, you know? It's like a turning point, you know? Like I said, everything started with Marvel 3, but it was like my destiny for Killer Instinct to show up. And that, I really think that's true. It was like my fucking destiny for me and KI to collide and to be reunited with that game. Hey, here's a start of a series that I'm pretty happy about. The Real Talk series. It's just like me just jamming and talking about topics in fighting games, and that ends up being another big part of the channel. A lot of people really like arcade stories. It went from arcade stories to like Real Talk, yeah. And Real Talk is just me essentially doing what I am right now. And then this happens. This one's pretty big too, where Ryan comes over to my place and we play some Third Strike.
What's up, dudes? Max here, and it's a very special event. Me, myself, and Ryan. We're playing Street Fighter 3 online because it's the greatest game ever of all time.
And then we just played Third Strike. And guess what? We just get to talk to each other about the game that we love the most. We just had a lot of fun, and that's why these videos, that's why Excellent Adventures is good. Their best episodes are the ones where you get people that love Street Fighter 4 and they come over to their place and talk about it, you know? That's a big part of resonating with people, is just to enjoy the same things that they do with them. And literally, that's what my whole damn YouTube channel and Twitch channel is at this point. And then I finally got season part 2 of Assist Me to come out. But here was the big problem, is that I was still trying to make Assist Me, and all this other shit was happening, you know? I was making a lot of other content. I was making a lot of other stuff that wasn't directly about just making this show that was Assist Me related, which was good because I knew that I couldn't keep this Assist Me thing, this just Assist Me thing, going the whole time. It was just too exhausting, and we would eventually just burn out of it. So, and then we get the eventual release of Killer Instinct. I make a fucking Killer Instinct Assist Me, which is weird. It's weird and very different. And since I had access to the engine of the game because we were working on the trailers and stuff like that, I'm able to do cool stuff like this.
Oh, I totally didn't sign on for this. Oh man, I made it. I finally freaking made it. Holy shit! What? You weren't even there a second ago. All right, guys, get over here.
This is so weird. So this also began another thing that I was super busy with, since I was hanging out with Double Helix, and I was like, I think I can edit trailers for you guys. And I cut together a Saberwolf trailer in the same day I was there. And I had it on like my laptop, and I just edited it on my laptop to just some music, and it was just like a very basic 30-second thing, like super basic. The lead guy, Patrick, I think, who was running the studio, was like, I like this. and they sent it over to Microsoft, and the Microsoft guys were like, we like this. And then they commissioned me to make the trailers for the end of like the characters in KI at the first season. So this was another huge part of my content creation, is that at this point, oh shit, now I'm helping these guys make trailers for this game. And my whole big gimmick for these trailers was that I want them to tell a story. I want you to get an idea of what's going on with the character's story. I want to be able to use their music. And luckily, when I was working with Mick during this time frame, because he was still making the music for these characters, he's like, yes, let's make it all timed to music if I possibly can. The Sadira trailer is like the one example that is kind of rough, but is at least like an idea of where we were sort of going. Because once again, once you start with things, it's gonna suck. It's not gonna be great. This one's a little bit haptic and all over the place, but it's fun. And I had a lot of help from the audio guys. They gave me a really nice audio pass on balancing and all this stuff, which was great. I made the trailers for everything beyond this one. So Spinal, Fulgor. This one's very, like, rapid fire. The funny thing is, that was actually a glitch in the end. Sadira losing her head tracking. But Microsoft guys were cool, and I didn't want to show anything that looked bad or specifically broken. So the last shot was actually an accident, and the Microsoft guys were cool with it. They're like, oh yeah, keep it in. It's creepy and scary. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So this was the first trailer that I got to make officially for any fighting game in any regard. And that's once again a huge part of my 2013 was that, Jesus, man, I was like driving down to Double Helix to grab footage for stuff and then running back and trying to edit it together and doing it almost all the goddamn time. And I was paying for my own gas and my own travel just because I loved it. But there was just so much work, man. Like, at Double Helix at the same time, I was also working for Capcom on several other projects. I was making a DuckTales behind the scenes video, Strider documentary for Capcom at the same time, and the Double Helix guys were making Strider and Killer Instinct at the same fucking time. It was crazy. Like, I was in the mecca of just everything I loved. They were making Strider the game and Killer Instinct in the same studio. It was absolutely insane. The best netcode ever? Yeah, Killer Instinct comes out. It's got some of the greatest online play ever. Not perfect at the start by any means, but actually runs amazing online. Yeah, I go to Super Arcade where they have like weeklies and shit like all the damn time. This is where I first started doing commentary, a little bit more than just the basic Marvel 3 commentary. This is before Fulgor was even in the goddamn game. Who remembers the Run Back? Here's a quick example, an early Yo Video Games, hella early.
Goofiest fighting games that has ever been made.
This is a Twitch stream of us playing some Xbox One games and playing Fighter Within, and this was like literally the beginning of Yo Video Games. This is one of the very first where we had all four of us in a room together, and this was honestly the beginning of Yo Video Games. Right here, we just had a lot of fun, and people in the chat were super cool. Oh shit, Boss Rage isn't. Oh my god, Boss Rage begins in 2013. Shit, we got something to talk about. All right, 2013 was the year that I began streaming. And the reason was that I just wanted to teach people how to play Killer Instinct live. There was a big interaction with a live audience now, and I was always afraid of doing things live for a very, very, very long time. 2013 was the start of me, hey, we're gonna do this streaming thing now, and we're gonna play Killer Instinct live in front of people, and I'm just gonna do it. Here we go. What if I played the original Killer Instinct on the hardest difficulty on stream just for some goofy fun? And that's it. It was this, and all Boss Rage ended up being is just a quick compilation of some crazy moments of playing
Killer Instinct, everybody.
the hardest difficulty of KI. And that's the beginning of Boss Rage, man. It was something just completely off the cuff, not even planned. This Oni Boss Rage has 2 million views. I think the Tekken Boss Rage almost has 2 million views as well. Boss Rage ended up being the most popular series I have on YouTube. Was this the end of 2013? Hype and Rage compilation. Hype and Rage also starts in 2013 as well. That's also another big thing in this year that begins, that is still going to this day. This one, our Christmas special.
What's up, folks? folks.
in 2013. Here we come. Here it goes. This is the moment that defines 2013. The definition of 2013.
Smells like 3-year-old ramen. What are all these green tea Kit Kat wrappers?
And it came right from Japan, the best country in the world. And they also have the best games. Variable Geo is making a return. Here's my reaction video.
None of that was scripted. It was like, oh, just stick the camera on you and do some weeby shit. And that was the end of 2013. So I was turned into the ultimate weeb. The ultimate weeb. I didn't get to do everything I wanted to with like the Assist Me series and content-wise, but this was like the beginning of me actually finding a bit of identity.